Okay, so today I'm doing a Cambelt change on this Land Cruiser Prado LC4. It's got the D-4D engine, 3 litre diesel. I'll show you some of the bits that I've got. I'll give you a guide on how to do it. So first off, I've got the tensioner. Quite important bit. You can replace this belt without the tensioner itself. However, I wouldn't recommend because it's a hydraulic tensioner and they leak. So that's actually more likely to fail than the belt in my opinion. You've got an idler pulley here, and then you've got the belt itself. Just inspect all these bits, make sure they're all okay, and then we'll check the bits that come off the car as well. Got a little sticker just to make sure we can let them know that it's been changed. You can see here, it's just this cover on the front. There's a good wide angle. I've seen that some people do drain the coolant. I think you can do it without, so I'm going to give it a go today, and we'll see how we get on. So first thing here, as you can see, the torch. This bracket for these hoses. I've taken the hoses out of the bracket. Just down there, you've got a 12mm bolt. Quite easy step really. That one there. Sorry, it's not very in focus, but I will take it off and we'll get rid of this bracket just to give us a little bit more access. So that's what it looks like with no bracket. Here's the bracket for reference. Just has a little notch for it to sit in to make sure you put it back into place, back in place correctly when you go back together. Next point of action will be taking the timing cover off itself. I've counted up, it looks like 6 bolts, so they look like 10 mils. So 10mm bolts all the way around, big ring of bolts, and I'll show you once it's off. There's also a little clip as well as the little 10 mils, just to note so you don't go pulling it off and breaking anything there. Okay, so I have taken off this cover at the top here. Just 3 bolts, 3 10 mils. Just like that, take the 3 off, put it out of the way, just gives you that slightly more room. I've taken the ring of 6 10 mils off. You can see it's been done before, there's an old timing mark there. I'll take this cover out. As you can see, there's a ring of 6 bolts. They're nice and easy to get to, just down there. And I'll show you how the cover looks off. So here's the cover off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 bolts, a little clip hole. Which lets you know, just a little bit of a note, I just pulled these coolant pipes up and away, and it pulled this cover in front of the fan and past these hoses. It's a little bit tight, just a bit of a wiggle and it will go, but it's all good. So, good thing to note, the timing marks have already been marked out by the past belt change. As you can see, there's a timing mark there, and the one on the pulley there's a little knot cut out in the pulley itself. It's been highlighted, so make sure you highlight those. And then what you want to do is make sure the vehicle's in neutral, which I have done. So neutral at the moment, so then you can turn the crank and get this timing mark lined up. So we'll use a 22mm spanner, which I've already got on the crank here, just to show you. Just there. And then we're just going to try and turn the crank like that, and then you'll see the marks will then line up as it goes around. Here it is lined up at the top. Give it a zoom. Ignore this marks from the old person that's done it, but it's as close in line as I can get it with the top there. See, that won't necessarily be marked on your vehicle. However, you can see the little notch in the cam pulley itself there, but it's much easier to mark it if you can at home. There's my top again, just marked it again a bit more on the belt to make it clearer. I'm going to go down the bottom here, and this way you can see the bottom time mark, the arrow, and then the female arrow on the pulley itself. You can see they're nice and lined up there on the bottom. So next up is the idler pulley removal, or the first part of the tensioner. Just that there. I'll show you. It's difficult to show from all the way down there, but it's that 10mm Allen key bolt, or hex bolt, however you want to describe it. That's the bolt that needs to come out to get this idler off. Looks like this. Take that off, and then we can take the tensioner off afterwards. So here's the tensioner off, or the pulley off. It's also worth noting that when you do replace this belt, when you put the new one on, you want this tension on the right hand side of the belt prior to then putting the tensioner on. As you can see, is under a bit of tension still on that side without the tensioner on. So you want to make sure you keep this nice and tight all the way around on the installation, which I'll show you in a minute. And then once you put the new tensioner on here and the pulley, then we'll tighten this side up when you pull the pin out of the tensioner. It's just good to know, it's good practice, make sure that this is tight all the way around. So here's the new tensioner, just come with a little note saying not to remove the pin. There's a nice new one, here's your old one. Has got some signs of leakage, nothing major, but it's always good to keep on top of these things. So I'll fit this first and then carry on with the installation and show you how it goes. Just torquing down these bolts on the tensioner, set my torque wrench to 11 Newton meters, and you can see nice and tight there, and I'll do the bottom one as well. So I've got the new belt on, top line is in line and bottom also is. I've pulled it tight round the back of the belt. As you can see, it's under a good bit of tension there. So what you want to do is slot the belt on the bottom, hook it at the bottom of the pulley with your hand as much as you can, and then pull it round with your left hand all the way until it slots over to the next tooth. You have to sort of do a bit of playing with it to try and get it to line up, and then it will slot and be there. We've also wrapped some cable ties around and pulled them tight, just to keep the belt tight whilst I put the idler or tensioner on. And then I can snip those off once I'm happy and pull the pin on the tensioner, and we'll have a belt fitted. As you can see here, it's a bit of a better view. It's given me quite a lot of room to fit the pulley behind the belt. Just down there. See, I've got enough room to be able to fit the belt past, fit the pulley past the belt there. So it's still fairly loose on this side, and get this bolt in without it being under too much tension so I don't cause any problems with the threads. And this side is still nice and taut. That's why I use those cable ties there. As you can see, I'll snip those off shortly so that we obviously don't tension the belt with the cable tie on still. This bolt needs torquing down to 37 Newton meters of torque. Once that's tight and I'm happy, I will then pull this pin and everything will be tensioned and we'll be good to go. And torque her up. As you can see, nice and tight. And I'll get these cable ties off. And we will be set. Here you go, finished result. So I'll get these out of the way. Belt is tight on the right hand side prior to putting the tensioner on. Pulled it around the pulleys and it's lined up on both the top and the bottom. Tensioner is now tight because the pin has been pulled. Everything's torqued down. We can put the cover back on and start her up. All back together now. Top cover back on. This bracket is back on. Hose is clipped in. And of course, timing belt cover on first. And all nice and tight. All good. We'll give it a first start and see how it is. Just as another bit of information, I've just set the timing belt light that it comes up here. Basically, you want to have the trip on the mileage or kilometers that whatever your vehicle's in. Then ignition will go off all the way. You'll then hold the trip button down, turn the ignition on whilst holding the button down, hold it for 5 seconds, release, and then quick press. And on the odometer reading here, it should come up with a number. Mine it was 9, so that's 90,000 miles. And then you want to hold again and release. That then resets the timing light for another 90,000 miles. I think it's 150,000 kilometers on these if you're in KMs. That's brilliant. Thank you guys for watching and hope all goes well for you. Any questions, please leave them in the comments and press subscribe if you can. That'd be ideal. I'm just starting this channel. I'd like to do lots of tutorials, so please keep